Hi, everyone. Donna and Brian again. Back for another episode. If you're new to the podcast, we decided to do a podcast on men's mental health awareness. Just talk about mental health that men deal with. We followed Brian's story. He has panic disorder, anxiety, and depression. Just things that have worked for him and haven't, and his outlook on it. We this is not geared towards kids. Some of it's adult content, and the language can get a little sketchy. If you're easily offended, this podcast is not for you. All right, so with that being said, some of the topics that we talked about a few episodes ago was about, you had brought up about people that are in the spotlight and stuff like that. Like you mentioned Wolfgang Van Halen.
Mm-hmm.
You being on the outside looking in, when you see people that have come out and spoke about their anxiety, depression, panic disorder that are bigger in the spotlight more, whether they're stars, sports people, singers, anything that draws a crowd. What's one of the first questions that you asked yourself?
How the fuck did they do that?
So, and a lot of people don't come out and talk about it. You're seeing more and more. But stop and think about how their everyday lives, even if they didn't have anxiety or depression, could bring it on if they didn't have an underlying problem.
Yeah, and I'm no expert in any of that. I just assume, and this is just my opinion, that there had to be something there. I don't know that it's something that just I mean, I haven't talked to anybody, but I don't know that it's just something that all of a sudden at 30 or 40 just comes on.
All right, so I'm going to
It may come on to the point where you're now more aware of it, but like with mine, I was 23 when it hit. But since and being able to look back, I had it when I was a kid. It wasn't as bad where it stopped me from doing things. Obviously at 23 it did. So that's where I look at some of them and I just like, it definitely being in that spotlight and constantly having that kind of scrutiny and pressure and people wanting your attention, whether it's positive or negative or just want to be around you for the money and that kind of stuff has to wear on you over time.
All right, so let's talk of people that aren't famous but are from famous families. Michael Jackson's kids. We'll use them as an example. I don't know if they have any depression, anxiety, or anything like that. But imagine having him as a father. We know all the scrutiny that he has always been under. It got worse. And then even after he died, it continued to get worse. Not just the method of how he died, but a lot of the stuff from the past came back. Now you have, I believe he has 3 or 4 kids. I know he has a daughter. I believe the rest are boys. So
honestly, the only thing I remember is him hanging a baby out a window. Like,
that was Blanket, yeah.
Joke. Huh?
He hung Blanket out the window, yeah. The baby's real name is not Blanket. He got the nickname Blanket because he had a blanket over him. But that's what they call him.
I thought you were saying he was hanging a blanket out the window.
No, that's what they call the little boy Blanket.
Isn't one of them Paris?
That's his oldest. That's his daughter, yes. Who actually is a singer. But imagine if you don't have anxiety or depression. Losing your father like that at a young age, that could set depression in. Okay. But then the anxiety of, can I walk out of my house and not have everybody in my face for a life that my father chose to live?
Yeah, I can't imagine. Like, I don't like it when my neighbors are outside. So I can't imagine having 20 people with cameras up in your face everywhere you go. And most of them hoping that you're going to either say something stupid or do something stupid just so they can
right.
sell a story.
Or I'll even go another one. Whitney Houston and her daughter, Bobby, I don't know the middle name, Brown, but it's her daughter. Look at what happened. Now, Whitney was a phenomenal star. She was. Unfortunately, the way she passed was horrible. But imagine dealing with that on a daily basis, constantly being in the spotlight. And even today, Whitney's been gone how long, and she's still, people rave about her to today.
Hey, you can go back way further than that with Elvis and
That was my next one.
his daughter. I mean, that was another one where I think she's passed now.
Yeah, she did. She passed from complications of a weight loss surgery. Yeah.
Okay, so I mean, your dad's Elvis Presley. Like, you can't go anywhere without somebody.
And her name is specific because his plane was Lisa Marie. Everything was Lisa Marie.
Yeah.
So I mean, not even the ones that actually are the stars, but the children of the stars. Like,
Starting to make me think I'm happy that my dad was a complete loser. And I didn't have to put up with that shit because I wouldn't, if I'm the way I am now and had to deal with, like, I would never leave my house.
that's what, so we cough up to people that are children of stars, like, oh, how easy can their life be? Like, they have everything handed to them.
Yeah, we just assume they're living that
but
reality TV life.
look at, I mean, even the ones that are still alive. Will Smith's kids, they're a hot mess. But
Well, I don't.
no, I'm saying through the tabloids, they're a hot mess. That's what I mean.
Yeah, I don't. Personally, I don't know any of them. So.
Yeah, but I mean, would they be the way they are if they weren't Will Smith and what is his wife's name? Picket Fence or something? I don't know.
Picket Fence.
Isn't it what I saying?
No, it's Pinkett.
Oh.
Jada Pinkett.
Okay.
Picket Fence.
So,
I think that was a TV show, wasn't it? Picket Fences?
I mean, I don't know. But do you see what I mean? Like, would the kids be the same way they are if their parents weren't who their parents are or the way they were?
No, because, I mean, I don't want to lump everybody's. I mean, everybody's different, but it seems like a lot of Hollywood's kids are fucked up. If that's true, then I would assume most of it is because they're handed everything. They have everything. They have no responsibility. They have nothing to worry about technically. And, financially, you're never going to have anything to worry about unless you really fuck up.
Assuming you get your parents' money.
But even as a kid, you're living in how many houses and you have everything that's new, and that you still have people that put their kids into show business, and now they've got all that, and it's just
so
you've financially and materialistically
you're set.
You're living a good life.
So,
that doesn't mean mentally you're fine.
What I was just going to say, Drew Barrymore, her father was
John Barrymore.
Correct. He was,
or was that her grandfather? Was that her father, John Barrymore?
I know her father was in something, or maybe I don't know.
John Barrymore was an actor.
So I think that may have been her father. But I remember her doing an interview, and she's very open about this on her show. She's what she calls a recovering alcoholic. She doesn't drink anymore. But I remember.
Didn't even know she was.
Yeah. So, and it started back when she was doing like E.T. Look at how young she was during E.T.
She's an alcoholic when she was like 8.
She would be at parties and she'd walk around and just taking everyone's drinks. Yeah, it started so young.
I hope this is a fact and we're not getting sued.
No, yeah, it was in her interview. I did not know it was that bad until I watched one of her shows and she was talking to a woman that she met on a plane one day when she was having a really bad. But yeah, she said, I don't know if it was at a wedding or a party, she would go and she would just down them and like pass out at the party, like on the chairs.
E.T. age?
Yeah.
She was little.
Yeah. Yeah, it's crazy. But she said it was still like, think about the people from Different Strokes. The girl. Do you remember her name?
Yeah. Dana Plato.
Is that her name? She's gone now. She's passed.
I think everybody from that show had a problem with something, didn't
Right. So that's what I'm saying. Like, it wasn't uncommon. And
well, that's
that
something
era.
different because that's childhood actors. That's not children of famous people. That's childhood actors. That's a whole nother.
Okay, so Drew Barrymore kind of fell under both.
Yeah. I don't. I've heard of her. I've heard of John Barrymore. I could not name anything that he was in.
I was just going to ask you that.
If I tripped over him, obviously, I think he's passed as far as I know, but I don't know what he looks like. I don't know anything about him.
And she's very open and honest with her childhood. Very open and honest. And what it's done to her and how it's made her the type of person she is now. She's very vulnerable about it.
It just seems like, and again, this is, from what you hear or see or whatever, it seems like a lot of stars' kids and even musicians' kids are fucked up. And I think that goes back to where they've never been told no. They're handed everything. They don't have to work for shit. And I'm not talking about once they're adults. I'm talking about kids and teens where everyday normal people's kids, most of them have chores and that kind of stuff. They don't have multiple people in the house preparing meals and cleaning and picking up shit and doing,
But do you think that sets them up for failure because of them not being able to deal with the real world, them not having or them being so, I don't want to say guarded from reality, but...
Well, it's definitely not reality. I mean, it may be their reality, but for the other 99% of the population, no, it's if they suddenly, like, let's just say, for argument's sake, Michael Jackson's estate just went bankrupt.
Which it did.
No, it didn't.
Well, his Neverland did. He lost Neverland, but go ahead. Right. Well, he'll always, because of the royalties.
There's enough money
right.
sitting in that estate or the trust to last 10 generations, whatever you want to say. Let's just say, I'm just saying, it completely goes bankrupt. Somebody sucks all the money dry, some scumbag lawyer or whatever. And those kids have to now go out and work for themselves.
Right.
I don't know if they're prepared for that or not.
Okay. I see where you're going with this.
I don't even know who the mother is. But did they prepare them to be like, look, this is how the real world is? Now, there are some actors that I've seen on podcasts who talk about that kind of stuff. And, their kids have chores and have to do things, and they don't get everything handed to them. You got to earn it. That's not most of them. So if you suddenly had to work for it, and that's why when you see them on like the cops things where one of them gets pulled, they act like, don't tell me what to do. It's a cop. They're going to tell you what to do. It's that entitlement. They've never been told no. Authority doesn't mean shit to them. Everybody's been kissing their ass because of who their parents are. So they get out there and they're just totally like dumbfounded, like.
And it's crazy because you can tell the ones that, all right, Will Smith, his kids are in the limelight. They're up and center. They're in the limelight.
I only know of the one who actually is in acting.
Willow?
No, the one that did Karate Kid, the boy. Jaden.
Or he has Jaden, Willow, and somebody else.
I don't know any of
So
those. I
yeah.
only know the one that does the acting. Or
So
unless there's more than one, I don't know.
yeah, there's two. That's
I
why I
know.
said Willow. I think it's Willow.
I only know because in his movie, The Pursuit of Happiness, that's his son in the movie is actually his son,
Okay. Never
Jaden.
saw
I
it.
believe its name's Jaden. I'm not sure. And then he did the other Karate Kid one with Jackie Chan or something. I never saw it, but
Was that Jada or was that Willow? Well, that was Jada? Or whatever the kid's name is?
Jaden,
Jaden?
the boy.
Okay. Okay.
I
don't
don't
know.
know. It wasn't a girl.
So, yeah,
Is Willow a girl?
I think so.
I don't know.
But you look at somebody like Adam Sandler. Do you know any of his kids?
I didn't even know he had kids. Does he?
I believe he does.
If you're smart, you'll keep them out of the, like, don't be snapping pictures of them and putting them all over social media, and keep them out of the camera as long as possible. And I don't mean acting, I mean
There was
appearances and stuff like that, because it's not going to help the kid at all.
just a incident. I don't know if it was in New York. I believe it was in New York. I don't know if it was Adam Sandler's kid or Ben Affleck's kid. I don't know why I'm getting the two confused because they're nothing alike. Was in a store trying to buy something. And the person in the store was like, you're not going to be able to afford this. You can't be like out of your, and and it's all caught on the camera.
I could buy this store.
And the girl calls and says, Dad, they're not letting me. And he's like, where are you at? He's like, all right, I'll be right in. And he goes in, and boy, did everything turn around.
Yeah, but that's kind of what I'm talking about with the entitlement.
No, she was just trying to buy a gift for her mom.
I understand that, but I'm just going to call my famous dad, and he's going to come down here, and now it's Pretty Woman, where they thought she was a bum, and now
Well, no, what was a kid supposed to do? She was trying to buy the gift, but
go to another store.
But what?
New York has like a lot of stores.
Yeah, I don't.
I don't think you're going to run out of
And he
places
just
to shop.
walked in,
But is that real, or was that a skit?
it was a closed caption. It was a video of the store, so I don't know. It wasn't somebody recording it. But so, how would you like it if your daughter was able to afford something, and they were having a hissy fit because she couldn't afford it in the store?
Go to another store, buy.
I don't know if
Like,
it was.
It's kind of what I'm talking about. Like, suck it up. That shit's going to happen. Go somewhere else.
Unless what they had was you could only get it. I don't know if it was like Tiffany's or something like that.
We've been to stores where the salespeople ignore you. You fucking leave and go somewhere else.
I get that.
Don't call daddy to come fucking suddenly flip to where now you're getting shit for free.
Oh, no, they paid for it, but it was like.
But still, it's just, that's the kind of shit that I don't like.
I don't have a problem with it because they didn't know who she was.
They didn't have to know who she was.
Then tell her what she had.
What did her last name have to fucking do with anything?
It didn't, but Dad was out in the car waiting for her, and it wasn't like he called her at home and said, come to the store. He was out in the car waiting, but that's my whole thing. Like,
but you're going to run into that shit. Deal with it. Don't call your parents. Deal with it yourself. Leave. Go somewhere else.
I don't blame her for doing that, especially if it was what they could get there. But I'm trying to think what other stars where you just don't hear about their kids. I mean, a lot of them you've seen.
Well, you've already named some that I don't. Again, for anybody that doesn't know, I don't follow pop culture, so I don't know a lot of this shit. Like, a lot of what you're saying is the first time I've ever heard of it. I try not to follow people because a lot of times the more you get to know them, the less you like them. That whole never meet your hero, because they're probably going to let you down. They're not going to live up to what the media and their PR department has built them up to be.
Oh, yeah.
So I really don't follow. I'll watch podcasts of people that probably I kind of know where they stand or kind of what they're like. Because I've watched some where I'm like, probably shouldn't have done that.
Yeah,
I didn't know they were that big assholes.
a lot of the stuff that, like I said, the Drew Barrymore thing, that was on her show, which I found, like when she was talking, and she's very raw.
But that's also been a thing with, like you said, stars' kids are the most fucked up kids there are. And, because they've got access to anything and everything. They've got people around them that are living off of their parents. So they're not going to tell the kid
Right.
no, because the kid's going to go to the parents and go, so-and-so is doing this and that. Fire them. Okay.
I just wonder if, I guess my biggest thing is, should the parents that are famous, should they be more cautious of what they're doing, the effects it can have on their children? Their children didn't ask to come into this world.
Well, they definitely should be, but their problem is they lost touch with reality a long time ago. I mean, you brought up Will Smith and picket fence. Look at that incident from whatever that award show was where he slapped Chris Rock.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
Who in the fuck thinks that they have the right to just walk up?
I want to see whose kids are, because now that you mention, yeah,
Like, for you to have that thought that you have the right to go up and hit somebody during an award show, that I think it was the Oscars, correct? Yeah,
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, because he ended up getting an Oscar for something later. He doesn't get arrested. He doesn't get escorted out of the building. He doesn't get. Nothing happens to him.
Yeah. So
think about his kids, who definitely are going to see that. They've probably seen it 100 times, because we've all seen it 1,000. And now they think it's okay to just smack somebody in the mouth when they say something that they don't like.
right. Yeah, I get that.
And then when they do it to the wrong person and end up unalived or getting their ass whooped, they can't figure out what the hell's wrong. Well, ask your dad.
So
Unless you're unalived, and then you can't.
Jada Smith is the one you were saying.
Picket fences?
No, Jaden Smith is the son. Willow, he has 3 kids. The other kid's not named at all. Willow is the daughter. I don't think she's been in anything though. Wait, no. I thought she was in something maybe, but
I mean, you can point to, Will Smith's not the only one. He just happens to be the one that walked up on stage and smacked somebody over one of the tamest jokes ever told. At the time, Will Smith was laughing at it until his wife turned and gave him the side eye, and then he had to go up there and show his manhood. Which, to Chris Rock's credit, he turned around and went out on a special and just
made millions
off of joking about it. And then Will Smith had the audacity to get offended by it.
Yeah, I don't.
Like, motherfucker, you're the one who fucking did it.
Good point.
You went up and fucking smacked him. He didn't. He could have had your ass arrested. He could have sued you. He could have did whatever he want. No, he went, took a break, wrote a bunch of fucking jokes, and sold out arenas all over the fucking place. So, you know what? Shut the fuck up and sit down.
So Drew Barrymore's father died in 2004. I'm not really, he was in a bunch of stuff, but I don't really know any.
Can you name a couple? So maybe I know.
Yeah.
Was it John Barrymore?
Yeah. Kung Fu, an episode in Kung Fu, Clones.
Well, Kung Fu was a TV series.
Yeah, he was in an episode. Winchester 73. He was a preacher. that was made in 67. Not sure why it was called Winchester 73.
Do you have anything in the 70s or 80s?
Baby Blue Marine. And that was the last one he made, Baby Blue Marine in 74. Yeah,
so
I don't. But
way before our time and nothing.
yeah,
I remember the series Kung Fu, but
yeah, I don't. But I remember her saying, and she's openly said, like, this is why I'm doing what I'm doing with my kids because of. And yeah, she did get into acting. She was in E.T. She was very young in E.T. And I don't even believe E.T. was her first movie.
was Firestarter first?
Because I thought E.T. was her very first movie, but I pretty sure.
No, I think E.T. might have been first, and then Firestarter after that. Because I think Firestarter, she was a little older. I think she was also one of those ones that had like a bunch when she was a kid, and then like a gap, and then kind of came back again.
Yeah, probably.
Because I don't remember seeing her consistently from like the 80s on up.
So she actually started in acting at 11 months old.
That doesn't fucking count.
So, and then she had a small role in Altered States, and then it was E.T. Firestarter's not even it. Firestarter was in 84, actually 84. E.T. was in. Yeah, so I guess E.T. was fine.
My opinion, Firestarter is the one that got her really going. Like E.T., she wasn't the main. It was the other, her brother or whatever, was the main character along with the alien dude. But Firestarter, she was the main star for that one, I think.
Yeah, and she's been very open about like what it's done to her and how she. That's how I know Adam Sandler has kids, because her kids and his kids are close. That's the only reason I know he has kids.
They made a few movies together.
Yeah, they actually do, like, they do a lot of stuff together. Like, she's close with his wife and all that, which I didn't realize. They've done a lot of movies together, actually, which I didn't realize that they were that close.
I can only name two, but
50 First Dates
and Wedding Singer.
and there was another one. It just blew my mind. But it was, and they were talking about doing a remake of something, I don't know what, or a sequel or something, or doing something together. It might not even have been a previous movie, doing something together again.
Well, I think child stars then, as weird as this may sound, had it harder than now. Even now, because with now having social media and all that shit. But you kind of have or you hope that there's those people there that'll keep you from stepping in shit. Where back then, there were people just handing you shit. And most of those childhood actors turned out to be, if they didn't, die at a young age, there's various stories of homelessness, and they're broke and they were just robbed. They have no contact with their parents who ripped them off. And
Who was the star that actually divorced his parents? There was a childhood star who actually divorced his parents.
how do you divorce your parents?
I guess
Emancipation?
I guess it would be considered emancipation, because of that. But I mean,
Didn't Lindsay Lohan do something like that with her father or something?
Britney Spears had to court.
She was an adult then. I'm talking. Lindsay Lohan had something to do with her father or something.
Probably she was another one. Started at a young age and hit a really bad rough patch, because she started with Parent Trap.
Oh, okay. I don't.
So I mean, we sit here and think that you're in that role. You're and money does not buy happiness. Let's get that put on the table right now. Money does not mean happiness. It
No,
does not mean,
just means you don't have to worry about the bills.
yeah, Ariana Grande. Is that the one who's in Wicked? Yeah, Ariana.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah. I watched an interview with her. I am a huge fan of hers. I think she's one of the most down to earth people. She was on The Voice when we watched The Voice. Remember, she gave him the.
Wait, you okay? I know what you're talking about now, and you're getting a down to earth vibe from her.
I. She's when I say down to earth, I mean she's about as real can get. She's not up in the sky. She's dippy, yes.
She dresses like she's going to the Met Gala or some strange event. I don't know. I don't know if that's a thing where you're supposed to dress like that, or you need to, or she enjoys it. I don't know.
But I mean, she gets grief all the time about her looks.
Was she a kid when she started?
Yeah, she was a Musketeer. I believe she was a Musketeer.
We don't need to look at all that stuff up.
Yeah, I believe. But she started.
Wait, they still have that?
Well, she's not as young as you would think, but
Like they still have the
Mickey Mouse Club. I
like
don't know.
Wasn't Britney Spears and Justin
Timberlake, Christina Aguilera.
They were all part of that
Yeah,
Mouse Club, or
yeah. If she wasn't, she was part of Disney. I believe. I believe she may have been part of Disney, but
I just thought she was a singer.
she gets a lot of grief, and she's been very open and honest about her anxiety and the panic that she gets, and it's weird because we see her in roles that, like you said, how the fuck do they get through it?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to say, I mean, whatever I'm about to say right now is probably going to sound fucked up, but like I can almost see somebody who's acting get through it.
Because it's not them. It's a
It's
character
not,
they're portraying.
there isn't that many people either. And again, everybody's different.
Right.
But like standing in front of 20,000 people and you don't really have a band, it's just you. So that spotlight is on you the entire time. Like that's where I go, yeah, there's no fucking way. But again, what sets me off won't set them off, and then what sets them off wouldn't set me off, or what, or you know.
But I wonder how many of them. I've never been on a stage like that where the lights. Can they really see? Like, yes, they know that it's a crowd full of people, but can they see everybody? They're not focused on. Like, there's been plenty of singers that'll say they rather do a huge arena than a small space.
Rob Zombie.
And
He's flat out said, he goes, I will not do like clubs and theaters and stuff. I want to do outside, as big as possible and as impersonal as possible. He goes, I just can't take that one-on-one interaction. It just freaks me out.
Yeah, I mean, there was
where I'm fine with the one-on-one, but you put me in a crowd and now I'm losing my shit.
There was somebody, I don't remember who it was, but hated doing the meet and greets. It may have been him. I don't know. They had said they were very, very uncomfortable doing the meet and greets.
James Hetfield's not real big on them.
I know.
He does them, but now, you know, I've seen him where he's like, I would rather like learn about you and have a conversation than the autographs and the pictures. Like he's uncomfortable doing that stuff. Can have a conversation with the people, but the picture taking and the autographs, and it weirds him out.
And it's crazy because of how big he is.
But if you have listened to him on Howard Stern and Rogan and his other stuff, Some Kind of Monster, he had a crappy childhood, was very insecure, just was bullied.
Sounds like Ozzy.
Just, I think his mother I forget what the religion was, but like she had cancer, but she couldn't acknowledge you as a kid couldn't acknowledge that she had cancer because that would be like giving in to whatever the problem was, so she wouldn't seek help, so she just died of it.
Oh, I didn't know
It was
that.
some kind of religion. I don't remember what it was. I don't want to say one
Yeah, I don't know.
like Latter Day Saints or something like that's popping into my head, but I don't think that's it. So I'm not going to bash anybody. I don't know. But his dad had split when he was young. And then by the time, I don't know what age he was, but he was living with his sister and her husband, I think, at the time,
Okay.
because the mom died.
Right.
So, you know, he had nothing but problems. And then, through the newspaper, ended up connecting with Lars, and then everything else is history. Now it's been 46 years they've been together,
That's kind of like
and the biggest heavy metal band of all time at this point.
that's kind of like Nikki Sixx.
Yeah, he's another one who had a really shitty
Yeah, he lived with
childhood.
his grandparents, and yeah, it was.
His mom was a real piece of work.
Yeah, I mean, it's
His dad split when he was young and didn't even want anything to do with him.
yeah, it's crazy. And then I'm a huge Ozzy fan, so I've read his books and everything. And as a child,
Well, Ozzy's a little different though because his parents were both there, and his dad worked around the clock in like a factory. And you're also talking about like the very end of World War II, where England had gotten bombed extensively,
and they were poor.
yeah, they didn't even have running water. Like they had
Yeah,
to go outside for the bathroom, and there was bomb craters out back. And
yeah,
but he was a class clown and a goof and uncomfortable, and
he had said in the one book that he did that because it was easier.
I mean, a lot of that was me. Like it was easier to be goofy and joke around and even joke at myself because then everybody else couldn't. Or it just took away people's ammunition because I'm doing it to myself. So what fun is it?
And
so
what-
now you'll leave me alone.
And one of the things that Ozzy had said was that he wasn't good looking growing up. He was very, I think the word he put was homely looking or something like that. So him being in a band back then, but I'm like,
Well, and I think music's one of those things where, for the most part, especially with hard rock and heavy metal, looks weren't a concern. Because if you look at a lot of the guys from
back in the
the
day.
70s, take out hair metal. I'm not counting those guys
No, you're right. But
because they were makeup and hairspray and all that. But
like the Yardbirds,
where did that come from?
that was back with Ozzy's.
Ozzy wasn't in the Yardbirds.
No, it was back in his time though. They're mentioned in his.
That was like a super group.
So
But
look at some of them, like
me personally, if you look at Black Sabbath, like they came from working class towns. They're like kind of rough looking dudes.
mm-hmm.
The guys in the Who or the Stones. I'm sorry that
Even
just
Zeppelin.
rough looking dudes. Yeah, I mean they just
yeah. But
and Metallica. Yeah, none of them were
yeah.
sex symbols. They weren't the Bon Jovis and Vince Neils and
I do not think Vince Neil was good looking. I'm sorry.
oh, but millions of women did.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm just saying, now looks are more important than what you actually sound like. But then
So
people just like the music.
I don't know if
You didn't have a ton of access to even see what they look like.
I don't know if that's as much true now though.
What?
Like looks being so much more important. Look at some of the
Oh, it may have changed over the past 5 years, but for a long time, who were the biggest groups? The hot chicks and the good-looking guys.
You're going by groups.
No, I'm going by individuals.
Okay, I can name I'm sorry if anyone is a fan. I apologize, but look at Jay-Z.
That was rap. I'm talking about
That's
what became what is now just pop.
Okay.
The boy bands.
Oh, well, you're going back. Okay.
I'll bring it right up till now. You may have a few now that don't fit that mold, but what's Ariana Grande? Short, cute, thin.
Okay.
Britney Spears, Christina Aguilera,
Britney Spears back in the day, yes. Now, yeah.
Justin Timberlake, Bobby Brown, Whitney Houston.
That's what I'm saying. You're going back years. Yeah, not now. Yeah, that's what I mean.
What do you mean not now? If Justin Bieber didn't have the medical issue, he would still be singing. Correct? He was a good-looking kid.
He's not now, but yes.
Is his voice that great? To me, no. That's auto-tune.
And he was found on Twitter or something?
YouTube
or something?
Singing the Canadian national anthem. But again, like the boy bands, Backstreet Boys, NSYNC, I was going to say UFO, but it's not UFO. What, 98 LFO?
LFO.
I don't know, 98 Degrees. What was the one that New Kids on the Block, if we want to go back that far? What was the one that Bobby Brown was in?
New Edition.
New Edition. Where are all those singers now? They're pretty much all gone.
Bobby Brown still sings, not as much though.
But he's not.
Yeah, he's not. Justin Timberlake still sings.
He's probably the only one of that group. Of that whole thing that is still out there doing it.
Which one was Mark Wahlberg in?
None of them.
Not Mark Wahlberg. Donnie Wahlberg.
He's not out there singing and producing, like putting out albums and being a major draw.
I don't know. They just toured. So I'm confused.
But they're not.
I don't know if they put something new out or not. That's what I'm saying.
Okay.
I don't know.
The hairband Warrant tours, but that doesn't mean shit.
Yeah, I mean, I don't.
Did they
boy bands are done though. I think. I don't think they're.
That's what I'm saying. Is for the longest period of time, it was looks over the sound.
Right. And I'm agreeing with you on that.
All they wanted was the girls, and that included the female singers, because there wasn't any guys listening to Britney Spears and Christina Aguilera and all that shit. There just weren't. And they didn't listen to boy bands. And that became pop. And that's what everybody, even the hair bands in the 80s, went from the metal sound to the pop metal because that's what sold.
Yeah, I can't even tell you now what is big, like in like the R&B. I can't tell you.
No, it's just pop.
I mean, well, even all of them, like you have like.
No, I mean, there's almost no genres anymore. Metal's still there, but it's no longer popular or mainstream or anything.
Yeah, I think you have like the Missy Elliott's who rap and sing, or.
What would you consider Jelly Roll?
He's country.
It's pop.
It's what they call new age country or Y2K country or something like that.
And when I hear it, I go, what is this fucking dance music you're playing? And you're like, it's country. And I'm like, no, it's not.
So Jelly Roll tried to do another genre. And
just for the record, I actually like a few of his songs. I've watched podcasts with him. He seems like a pretty cool dude.
He did.
I'm not saying there's anything wrong with it. I'm just saying that the genres of music have kind of disappeared and everything is now pop.
I think I don't know what genre he tried going for, and a guy, he was trying to sell CDs out the back of his van, and a guy walked up and said, if you want to make it, he's like, give me a call and do country. And he thought it was nuts. His face was all tattooed. I mean, I don't know if you watched his story about his life, but
No, I've seen him on Rogan's podcast a couple of times.
But he said, he goes, I would have never thought, and his exact words were, a fat boy like me doing country. And I think I like him personally.
He ain't that big anymore.
I know he's lost a lot of weight.
No, I'm just saying that for the longest period of time, and, you know, when it came to popular music, which is all pop stands for, in case anybody was unaware, the front person, whether it was a woman or a man, was always good looking. It almost didn't matter. Like the rest of the band you never saw. Like you could trip over the entire band, and
Yeah, now I don't know.
Everybody knows the band Toto from the song Africa.
Oh, yeah.
If I put 10 pictures, could you pick out any one of them?
I couldn't even pick out the lead singer.
They have a ton of hits, but nobody knows who they are.
Yeah.
But you know who Adele is, and you know who Whitney Houston is, and you know Justin Timberlake, and you know, because they prop them up because of that look.
Yeah, back then, yeah, I don't think as much now.
Adele's not even that long ago.
Right, but
And if you see her in the videos, and then you see her at home or whatever, it looks like two different people.
Oh, yeah. Look at Post Malone.
What about him? I couldn't tell you a song. One thing you know where I know him from?
The Doritos commercial.
That's it.
He went from doing rap. He now went to country. He actually is touring with Jelly Roll, which is crazy because Jelly Roll's opening for him. But
and again, I'll plead ignorance to a lot of shit that's popular today because I don't follow it. Especially music. I'm a hard rock and heavy metal fan, and there's very little new stuff that comes out that I like. So I kind of live in the past with that music. Now, Ozzy's last album, Patient Number 9, I liked it. Black Label Society's Engines of Demolition. That I like Doom Crew Incorporated better, but this has Ozzy's song on it, so it's good. Metallica's 72 Seasons, that was how many years ago? Godsmack had an album a few years ago. But there's very few up-and-coming bands that I know of that I hear and go, oh, I'm still... The shit that I find now, they've been out for like 20 years. I'm like, oh, my bad.
yeah, I don't know many of the newer songs. I just don't.
Yeah, I'm still finding albums from bands like... I was airbrushing today, and I put on a Rammstein CD, and there was songs on there. Most of them I knew, but then I was like, well, that's a cool song. I never heard that before. And it's like, so, and I don't know how long I've been listening to them.
And I couldn't name a song.
Oh, yeah, you definitely wouldn't like them. Most of it's in German, so.
Yeah,
I think about all of it is.
Yeah, I don't. And I listen to all different types. Like, I like country. I like more the older country than the new country, though.
I like Johnny Cash, but I never considered him country, as weird as that is. I just thought he was just...
Really?
I saw him when I was 8. My grandparents. And I think my mom...
Did his wife open for him?
Huh?
Did his wife open for him? Do you remember?
I don't remember anything but him.
Because they used to tour together.
Oh, this would have been 78, somewhere around there.
Yeah, they were. Well, they were together up until she died. So June.
I don't know. It was this place. If you're from this area and you're our age, you may have heard this. It was called Valley Forge in the Round, and it the stage just slowly turned. So no matter where you sat, they'd be in front of you at some point. But the only thing I remember is it being dark, and then you hear the dum 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 dum, and then the light comes up, and then here comes this. At 8 years old, the biggest human you've ever seen, standing, and we're like 4 rows from the stage or something like that, and but yeah, I just
You probably equated him to older music because of your grandparents.
well, not just that, it was just music that I liked. I didn't put it
Yeah.
into a category, so I didn't care.
What about Buddy Holly?
Being country?
No, his music.
No, I couldn't stand it.
How about
I couldn't even name a song.
who was on the plane?
Oh, Richie Valens.
Richie Valens.
I know a couple of his songs. Not my music.
Okay. How about
Nothing from that era was my music.
okay?
I literally, there's stuff from the 70s with Black Sabbath and some Led Zeppelin. Not a Who fan, not a Stones fan. This will piss some people off if you're around this age or older. I can't stand the fucking Beatles.
Neither can I.
I cannot stand them. I don't get it.
Here's my thing. Why do American women think that guys from over there are so good looking? Because they're from England, correct?
Mm-hmm.
I don't get it. Like, first of all, they look like they put a bowl in their hair and just shaved around it.
It's not that they're good looking. It's they're famous.
But no, because as soon as they came out, everyone was like, ah, before they were even huge.
I don't know.
I don't get it.
Elvis was good looking.
Ew.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Well, then you didn't see him when he was younger.
I did. I didn't find him good looking. I did not.
Not the movie they did about him. The actual him.
Yes, I know. Even
Well, if you were that age then, you would have thought he was good looking. You're looking back and going, that hair, the clothes.
no, because there's people from that time that I found good looking.
Oh.
I just didn't.
Okay, but 90% of the women thought
Yeah.
he was.
I just.
So.
I didn't. There wasn't.
A lot of it also, again, it's being famous will make up for a lot in the looks department.
I agree. I'll give you an example, and people are going to give me crap for this. I don't care. I don't think Vince Neil was good looking. I don't. I know blonde. I don't. If I had to pick anyone from that band,
Nikki Sixx.
I would go with Nick. I think Nikki Sixx was better looking than Vince Neil. I don't think Sebastian Bach was good looking, and girls just went head over heels for him.
Again, you're talking about the 80s when the big hair and all that stuff was in. So girls flocked to it. Tom Kiefer is not a good-looking dude.
No, not at all.
And women went nuts for him.
Women went nuts for Mick Mars. No disrespect, Mick, but still, people went nuts for him.
Why?
Because he was famous.
Because he's in a rock band. That's why. That's what I'm saying. It's the fame and just the illusion or whatever that's been created around them, and that's what people want.
I agree with that, but I'm saying the Beach Boys, the Beatles, as soon as they started,
The Beach Boys were much better looking than the Beatles.
they are, but still, when they first came, everyone was like, I just didn't get the appeal.
I didn't get the music.
Yeah,
And I know there's people, there's other channels, like not other than us, but there's other channels out there that will like argue about the importance. It's like, yeah, they may have been important to music and all that. I'm just telling you that I didn't get it. It just nobody listened to it. That nobody in my family listened to it. I didn't even become exposed to it until.
Wait, can we back up for a second? What do you mean by the importance of music?
Their role in the importance of rock and roll. You cannot take that away from them.
Well, explain. I don't understand what you mean.
They kind of put it on the map. Name a band before them that was crossing the line from not rock and roll and kind of in, you know, I don't want to say inventing it, but
I don't know timeline, so I would have to really stop and think about that. I don't.
well, you can't, because if you did, you would know who they are.
No, I don't know the timelines when other people were out. That's what I'm saying. Like I
But
don't.
that's what I'm saying. If they were more influential than the Beatles, you would be able to name them like that.
No,
'Cause
you're missing my point. I
'cause
don't
you-
know the time. I don't know what year they were popular. I don't even know what year the Beatles started.
60s, late 50s, early 60s.
So when
That-
did Elvis start?
Probably in the 50s.
But he was not considered rock and roll.
Well, they call him the king.
That's what I'm saying. Like that's where my confusion is. All right, when was Jimi Hendrix
All
was
right,
later,
here's my
right?
thing with Elvis, and people are going to get pissed off about this. Most of his stuff was ripped off from the black community,
Right.
from the soul singers from back
Right.
then. And the other stuff was just covers. And again, I'm not 100% that he wrote anything. He may have organized, like, composed the music and all that stuff. And he could play piano and guitar. He was an okay guitar player and all. He was just an amazing performer. I'm not going to give him a whole lot of credit for the music part, because I don't know that he actually wrote anything. As far as I knew, and this is just what I'm remembering, is most of his shit was other people's stuff that he got. Sorry, had Italian tonight. That he either got permission to record or just recorded anyway. So
Okay, so I'm trying to think of other.
to me, the Beatles were the first rock band.
Yeah, I'm trying to think who else would have been around that time. I'm very
The
blurry
Beach
with time.
Boys, but they're not a rock band. That's surf.
Right.
That's more like. But I also, and this will piss people off, like if, certain people in the music world caught wind of this one, which I don't have to worry about that. I saw them as the first boy band.
Who, the Beatles?
Yeah, where that, the manager, whoever, slapped a look, the horrible one, but it worked, and a package together and put them out there. And the girls are screaming, and there's some people that'll say some of that was staged to a degree. But I mean, you can't argue with the number of bands that will give them credit.
So who was in the Beach Boys? Who was in the Beatles?
Paul McCartney, John Lennon, George Harrison, Ringo Starr, Pete Best was the original drummer.
Okay, so out of all of them, obviously John Lennon's not doing anything anymore.
Neither's George Harrison.
George Harrison did after the Beatles broke up, though, didn't he?
And so did John Lennon. You got to remember, the Beatles were only together for not even 10 years.
I thought John Lennon died shortly after.
No.
Oh,
He died in the 80s.
was it the 80s? Mm-hmm. Okay, so
And they broke up in the end of the 60s, mid 60s. Like I think they were only together for like 7 or 8 years or something like that.
so
Like they just put out like I don't know how many albums per year, but
Paul McCartney's still doing things.
Paul McCartney and the Wings, yeah. I don't know if he's still actively at this moment still doing anything, but he was for a long time. And Ringo had his solo project.
And Ringo Starr was on Thomas the Train. He was the conductor.
You ask me personally, I would, if I had to sit and listen to any of them, be George Harrison. I thought his solo stuff was better than anybody else's.
Why do I know that name?
George Harrison?
Yeah.
Because he was a Beatle?
No. What he must have did something solo that I liked. I'll have to go and investigate that later. But
I think he might have been in one of those. I don't know if he was in one of those bands with like Roy Orbison and Tom Petty and somebody else or something like that.
I don't know.
Those guys would get together and jam and then end up making an album or something.
He may have also did We Are the World.
It's possible.
Yeah, I think I just watched something on We Are the World, and I think that's probably where I saw his name. But I just.
But but if you listen to a lot of your favorite artists, Ozzy and stuff like that, they all talk about how the Beatles influenced them.
Right.
Even Paul Stanley, we watched the Kiss documentary. He was like, "Oh, well, I can do that," and because he's looking at the Beatles.
Right, and I'm not saying. I guess my whole thing is they were weird. I'm not trying to be funny.
Well, yeah, bowl haircuts aren't in today. They were then.
And I guess my whole thing is like my parents weren't Beatle fans.
That's what I'm saying is I wasn't exposed to them.
Yeah.
Nobody in my family listened to them. So I didn't hear them until the 80s.
And I guess that's the same thing with like Elvis. My parents weren't Elvis fans.
Well, I knew of Elvis because one of my friends' mom was a huge, like their downstairs had like purple carpet and the velvet posters and a bust of Elvis and Elvis plates and everything that was Elvis. Everything that you saw in the movie that they were selling, it was in the house.
It's so funny. All I keep picturing is, did you ever watch Saved by the Bell? Zach Screech.
Oh, no.
So Screech's mom was a huge Elvis fan, and she had the Elvis bust. The dog's name was Elvis, and they were house sitting once because they were away, and somebody broke Elvis. That's all I can picture when you said the bust of Elvis.
I think one of her kids' middle names was Aaron, or actually, I think one of her daughters she named Aaron because it was Elvis Aaron Presley.
So I'm assuming she named her Aaron as in Erin instead of Aaron.
I'm not 100% on that.
That's a shame. But I just think stars and music and all that, I think we need to realize that they also suffer from depression, anxiety, just because
they are regular people.
I mean,
at somewhere they were a regular person.
Look at Elvis. When he lost his mom.
Yeah, but I mean that just because you lose somebody and go into grief and loss doesn't mean that you have a mental illness.
I think he had.
And he also was abusing drugs and alcohol.
Do you think the abusing of the drugs and alcohol were solely on him, or do you think they were on his manager as well?
You're the one putting them in your mouth. I don't blame other people for drug addicts.
No, but we saw in the documentary that was supposedly true, not documentary, the movie, where he would collapse and they would just shoot him up with something to get him back up to hit the stage. So it's a double. And his wife said for years that's why she left him.
Yeah, but he willingly just constantly was shoving shit down his throat.
Oh, yeah.
So,
But now I've seen interviews with his wife saying that he would go like manic at times. Which, is that the drugs or is that him?
Yeah, that's where I have the problem with, it's pretty hard to diagnose somebody with a mental illness who's on drugs.
Right.
Because, okay, eliminate the drugs first. Get the brain rewired to work without the drugs, and then let's see what they're doing.
Did you ever watch the movie Walk the Line?
Mm-hmm. He was another drug addict and alcoholic.
She had problems too.
I don't remember that part.
Because when they would take the pills so they would keep going, be able to like do the performances, because she performed with her sisters before she went with him, if you remember that in the movies.
No, I just remember her being by herself.
Yeah, it started with her performing with her sisters. Yeah. But I mean,
But he cleaned, as far as I know, he cleaned his act up at
yes.
some point.
Yes. And I believe, who passed first, him or her? He did, I believe. I can't remember. But I just, anyone who's famous also suffers. And
Well, not anyone.
no, I'm saying people that are the people that are famous can suffer. They're not exempt from it. And I think that,
No, and I'm sure there's some that maybe had some degree of it, and then that kind of
put them over.
that notoriety, that fame, that the paparazzi, which I don't think it's as bad now as it used to be, where they were just like camping out in trees and stuff like that,
Yeah.
and jumping you as soon as you got out and just up in your fucking face.
I think the only one that's still like that is TMZ.
No, they're just fucking dumpster diving lowlifes. Yeah, in my opinion. But I can't imagine if you already have some degree of anxiety, depression, whatever. Like that's not that seems like plenty to just send you right over the edge.
One of the people that I think pops into my mind is Princess Diana.
I don't know that she suffered with anything.
She did not I don't know if she suffered, but she was very uncomfortable with the paparazzi, especially after the separation.
Well, I mean, she also came from she wasn't from royalty, so she wasn't used to
Right.
the attention. So.
Yeah, that's one thing. And then she did something that was unheard of. But yeah, that's.
Well, and literally a paparazzi killed her.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess not literally, but
caused a death.
chasing
Yeah.
a car, and the guy just kept going faster and wrecked. And then the scumbags got out and took pictures. So it's.
But yeah, I think
that would be like taking me and just suddenly throwing me in the middle of something famous. Like,
right.
I've been trying to stay away from people or just don't come from that, and then suddenly you get thrown into superstardom. And that's what happens with a lot of these, whether you're Justin Bieber or Britney Spears. It's like you kind of, and then all of a sudden, everybody in the world wants your attention and your time and your, I got to, that kind of money would cause me anxiety. Just the thought of it makes me nervous. That's why I have you, and you take care of the freaking money.
But
because
I mean, look at the people that became huge in such a short amount of time, and they're nowhere around anymore.
Well, you have them too.
That either they couldn't handle it, or they the actor Lethal Weapon
Mel Gibson?
No, the short little dude.
Joe Pesci?
Yes. He at one point got away from acting.
Yeah, it was way later on in life.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But he hit a point where he had enough, and he just kind of pulled back, or then he'd do bits and pieces here. I watched something.
I think there's a lot of them that have done that. Like Jim Carrey's done that, where he just stopped doing certain roles and semi-retired, and Joaquin Phoenix has done that.
Now so Joaquin Phoenix, he's a huge, okay. Use him as an example. Look at what happened to his brother.
Mm-hmm.
Joaquin was young when that happened. And could that have deterred him from following that path of going into the spotlight? It didn't, obviously, but he's also completely different than what his brother was.
Well, I don't know that because I can only tell you one movie that I ever saw River Phoenix in, and that was Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade, and he's in it for about 10 minutes.
I didn't even know he was in that.
He's in the very beginning. He's the one that plays the kid, Indiana Jones.
Oh.
But so I don't know anything what he was like at all. And I don't know what Joaquin Phoenix was like at that age. I don't know if he was a partier or I know from the stories, River Phoenix got into the whole party crowd.
Big time.
Started using drugs and recreational shit and whatever he took that night and collapsed and died. But Joaquin Phoenix is also somebody who walks to the beat of their own drum.
Big time.
You know, if he doesn't feel like doing something, he ain't doing it. And if you look at a lot of the roles that he takes, they're off the beaten path.
Yeah, I mean, he was in What's Eating Gilbert Grape?
I never saw that.
He was in
He was in Signs.
Signs.
He was in a movie with Nicolas Cage called 9mm, which was a very dark movie.
Was he in Holes?
Is this a trick question? I'm sure he's been in some.
You never saw the movie Holes?
No. What the hell is it?
Oh my God. I got to see if he was in it.
Don't.
No, I need to see if you've never seen the movie Holes?
No.
Wow, there's a movie that I saw that you didn't see that was like famous.
Oh, it can't be that famous. I never heard of it.
Hold on, it might not even be called.
Is it a cartoon?
No. Cast.
You're boring the crowd.
Okay, no, he wasn't in it. Sigourney Weaver was, John Voight. But no, he wasn't in it. Patricia Arquette. Why did I think he was in it? It's a really weird movie. But it was around that era.
I'll tell you the most fucked up movie was Joker.
And that scares me.
If you see him in that, the amount of weight loss that he did for that role, and I remember seeing the, was it like a behind the scenes thing?
Mm-hmm.
And like once he got in, started that scene, like don't fuck it up, like because he was in it, and like somebody else better not like do something to screw it up or whatever, because you know he was that serious about it. Because I think at that time before that he was out of acting for a while, if I remember correctly.
What scared me about that was I go back to what Heath Ledger did when he played the Joker by secluding himself. And he talked to Jack Nicholson. Was that the other Joker? He talked to him. And,
one of the others.
yeah, he talked to him and asked how he got into that character. Because Jack Nicholson was a very good Joker in the Batman series, whatever it was called. But
It's just Batman. I don't know if it was Batman Forever or Batman and Robin, or I mean, they made so many of them. I don't know.
so Heath Ledger literally secluded himself to get into that role. And that kind of scares me. We go back to reality and life. I understand that was his job, but and then watching Joaquin Phoenix do his, that's scary. Who's
Christian Bale is another one that when he gets into a role, there's a movie. If you want to see somebody who's dealing with mental illness, watch The Machinist. It's Christian Bale. He's like an insomniac, but he's also going through other shit. And the amount of weight loss he did for that movie, like he looks so bad in that movie. And that's another very, like you have to like those kinds of movies to be able to watch basically just one person deteriorate. But it's a great movie. And for me, Joker with Joaquin Phoenix is the best, and that's the end of that argument.
again, that's your opinion, but who?
I just said for me. Yeah, I know everybody likes Heath Ledger. I didn't think it was all that great.
I never watched the movie. Who's the guy? He does the car commercials.
Then how do you know about Heath Ledger if you never watched it?
How do I know about the movie? I watched interviews with him.
Well, but then you should watch the movie if...
I'm not a Batman fan, so I'm not going to watch the movie. The guy, he was in that where he was a stoner.
God I'll be a little more specific.
He sold weed to the high school kids, and
Fast Times at Ridgemont High?
no sooner. He does the commercials for the car, the Mercury commercials or something.
Kevin Bacon?
No.
Matthew McConaughey.
Thank you. I knew you'd get it.
When was he selling pot to somebody in high school?
In one of the movies.
What movie?
I don't know.
Well, you can't just throw that out there.
Oh, I swear to God. Every time I pick up my phone, though, you yell at me. Oh, God.
Comment if you've ever heard me yell.
Matthew McConaughey, what movies was he in? He's another one.
Was he in like Half Baked or something?
I don't know. Oh, this is going to drive me crazy. I remember them pulling up, and he's like, "Yo, dude."
Selling weed to high school kids.
Yeah, he was like, "Oh my God, I can't. This is going to drive me crazy, and I can't find it."
Probably because it doesn't exist, kind of like the other one.
It does.
Holes.
I want to say, I just showed you who was in Holes. It was a Dude, Where's My Car? No, not Dude, Where's My Car?
You sure it's not Half Baked?
No, Half Baked are the two.
Or is that Dave Chappelle?
Yeah. I can't find it. I'll have to come back to it. Anyway, he did.
So he just accused somebody of selling weed to kids and he didn't even do it.
Shut up. Yes, he did. He was in the movie, Dazed and Confused. That's the movie that he was selling the weed to the kids.
Wait. I thought that was where the mom and daughter switch roles and the daughter becomes the mom.
No, that was
The chick from Halloween was the mom.
Yeah, that's not it. That's
And
Freaky
Lindsay
Friday.
Lohan.
That's Freaky Friday.
Oh.
Anyway, Matthew McConaughey played Dallas Buyers Club. The amount of weight he lost for that movie,
I never saw that.
and it was where they joined this club to get HIV medication, and he had AIDS in the movie. Hell, it's a great movie, but what he did to his body, like he lost so much weight. He looked emancipated. It was, excuse me, horrible. And he never actually went back to the weight he was before. Like he's always been that thin again. But when you had said about the weight loss, like that one, like I got scared after that movie. Like, is he really sick?
Bradley Cooper more recently has become one of those where he put on a ton of weight for American Sniper.
Yeah.
I mean, not just weight. He had to put on muscle. But then Silver Lining Playbooks, he had to like lose weight and become a little
Be nice.
neurotic.
And he was completely different in A Star Was Born.
In that one there, I think he lost weight.
Yeah.
Because of playing an alcoholic.
Yeah.
And a drug addict.
That was another good movie, though.
And that's weird because I remember him starting out with like Wedding Crashers. Mm-hmm. And he was like a douche in that movie.
Wait, he played in Wedding Crashers?
Yeah. He was the one that was going to marry the girl.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah. I'm thinking Wedding Planner because he was also a Wedding Planner.
Bradley Cooper?
Yeah. No, I'm lying. That was Matthew McConaughey.
If you're trying to get movie advice, don't watch this.
I told you he was selling weeds, though. I wasn't lying.
Selling weed to holes.
No, there was a movie. Shut up. Anyway, so some of these guys, when they play the roles, that has to play. I know it's a job and they're acting, but that has to play hell on their mental.
I was watching a thing with the cast, some of the cast from Sons of Anarchy. It was Ryan Hurst who played Opie.
Oh, won't be.
Charlie Hunnam. And I forget the actor's name that played Alvarez, the head of the Mayans. The three of them were up there and they were talking about Ryan Hurst was having a problem getting out of that role. and they went over to his house. They had bought him a samurai sword.
And they cut his hair. I watched the video.
I think it was his beard.
They did the beard first, and then they cut his hair.
But he's a big sumo, like samurai guy. Like he knows a lot of that shit. And when a sumo wrestler retires, all the other sumo wrestlers cut a small piece off of this little thing, as a sign of respect and all that. So he said that actually helped with him, like, get away from that. Charlie Hunnam, who played Jack, said he had problems for a few months getting out of that role and had to, like, talk to some people that had been in those long-term things and how did they, because he said he literally, and this was an interview from, like, I think it was like a Comic-Con kind of thing.
Yeah, they used to do a lot of them.
And he said he was in his house and he heard somebody, I think he said somebody had broken in or had broken the window or something. And he said, Charlie Hunnam went, oh shit. He goes, but the Jacks in me knew exactly what to do. He goes, so that kind of went on for a little while where sometimes the character took over in certain situations and he didn't like it and wanted to get rid of that and eventually did. But
I watched the thing with Ryan Hurst, and you actually see him crying when they're doing it. It was very moving. I watched a talk show, or one of the late shows. They interviewed Jax, or Charlie, sorry. And he had said probably after the first year, he was driving a car and he got pulled over by the cops. And he said something, and he said, or maybe he was on the bike, I don't know, but he got pulled over and he's like, give him the information, and he's like, think you're some kind of outlaw. Like the cops like giving him a hard time because of the role he played. And Jax is like, that's not me. Like he goes, he doesn't like the show, so now I'm definitely getting a ticket. But yeah, a lot of them,
well,
I mean,
I've also, I don't know if it was him or one of the other ones were like, they had gotten pulled over for just, headlight being out or something. And they actually thought, do I have anything in the car? And I was like, wait, I'm not in the show anymore. Like,
yeah,
it's that kind of shit. Because you did it for
7 years.
7 years.
Yeah. And it's a shame. He had an opportunity. If any of you know 50 Shades of Grey, he was the original guy that they had picked for the role of Christian Grey. And he left filming. He left, I guess, after filming Sons of Anarchy. He went and then he flew back and he's like, I can't do this. He's like, my dedication is to Sons of Anarchy. So he gave up the role. Now, I've seen 50 Shades of Grey. I think it would have been a whole different series if that was Christian rather than the person who played the role.
I haven't seen a half a second of it. So
But I have to admit, seeing the badass of Jackson Teller, but then when you see certain roles where he's that suave, like girl man, like ladies man.
The only other thing I've seen him in is a movie that we both liked, which was The Gentleman.
He was also in A Knight's Tale.
No, that was Heath Ledger.
Or something. It was.
It was the King Arthur story.
King Arthur, yeah, something like that. Yeah,
I didn't see it, but The Gentleman, he kind of played a bit of a psycho badass, so
yeah.
It wasn't that far from.
Yeah, he and Ryan Hurst.
He had already been in a lot of movies before that,
and he was in The Outsiders, that TV series.
I never saw that. I knew him from like Saving Private Ryan, Remember the Titans.
Remember the Titans gets me. When somebody pointed that out to me, I was like, I was floored, but then I couldn't get it out of my head anymore. But yeah, I mean, and I think that plays a huge role. Like, how do you get out of, I don't know, I just think it's difficult. And you have people that.
Well, it's that blurring the lines of fantasy and reality. And Some people can do it and some people can't.
Was it Half Sack on Sons of Anarchy?
Went nuts, killed a
Neighbor? Landlord.
well, yeah, I know he killed his landlady, and I don't know if it was a gardener or I don't know. He just went up on a roof and then jumped off and
And they
killed
said that
himself.
he left the show because it was too much for him or something.
I think I don't know this for a fact at all. I'm just guessing, and from what I remember seeing or reading, and it was he. I think he had had problems for a long time.
Yeah, I mean,
Whether it was, I mean, obviously there were some mental issues there, but I don't know if there was substance abuse or not.
yeah, it's sad. You see people that had promising whatever, and they just go,
Well, that one didn't surprise me because if you see him on the show, I mean, unless he's really good at doing like nervous ticks or looking like you would see him like do something with his hand where it looked like he was just being nervous or something. And I'm like,
now I have to go back and watch Sons of Anarchy to say it.
and I'm like, is that acting or is like he's just already that uncomfortable or there's something going on mentally there? I don't know. But then shortly after did what he did and it was like, there's probably something going on.
Yeah, I mean, and there's a lot of people that were stars that there was just one. He was 19, killed his mom. I can't remember what he was on.
Holes.
No.
I'm gonna have to check that movie out because I have no idea what it is.
When this Sigourney Weaver's on it,
Okay,
John Voight.
doesn't mean shit to me. Just because somebody big's in it doesn't mean it's any good.
I didn't say it was good. I just remember the name of the movie.
You said it was real big.
It was. It was a big movie.
Okay.
But I mean, you see, like, I don't remember. He killed his mom.
Who?
Oh my God.
Well, you can't just throw out and not
I don't.
say who it is.
It just happened recently. Well, a couple of years ago.
Some kid actor killed his mom?
Yeah. Let's see.
Probably from like 1997.
Oh, it was from 2020, so it wasn't just. He was on Riverdale
Just yesterday.
and Diary of a Wimpy Kid. Ryan.
Diarrhea.
Diary of a Wimpy
Oh, if they said
Kid.
diarrhea and a wimpy kid, I'm like, I don't care about his digestive issues.
So I'll show you a picture of him. I don't know if you'll know who he is. Yeah, I don't. He was on Riverdale. He killed his mom. Maybe he didn't like what she was serving for dinner. I don't know why he killed his mom, but he did.
Is he in jail?
Yeah, he's in jail. He's in jail for the rest of his life.
I mean, and there'd be people that, you know, and I'm one of them that I go, you know, a lot of actors and shit are fucked up. And then it's like, well, a lot of everyday people are fucked up. There's more everyday people in jail for murder and dumb shit than there are celebrities.
Yeah, I was just watching a thing on. I honestly think it was TikTok, where
Why would you watch anything on TikTok?
somebody sent me something and I just clicked over to something else about people whose parents killed them.
Marvin Gaye.
Thank you. And I did not want to say Luther Vandross because I know it wasn't him.
No, I think he's still alive.
His father killed him with the gun that he gave him. Crazy.
Well, gotta watch what you give people as gifts.
There was a young female star. Her father killed her. He was an alcoholic and he killed her.
I think the girl from Poltergeist,
Maybe that's who I'm thinking of.
the little blonde girl.
I think so. She also did a voiceover on a Disney movie or something. I don't know.
I don't know. Unless that was one of those urban legends or urban myths. I thought that girl's father killed her, but she could also be however old and married with 6 kids. I don't know.
Let's see. Oh,
I don't even remember her name. And most people watching this probably don't even remember the movie Poltergeist. The first one was pretty good. Kind of pretty creepy.
Judith Basari. She was All Dogs Go to Heaven, and she was Ducky on The Land Before Time. That's who I was thinking of.
Did you look up the girl from Poltergeist?
I'm looking it up.
This will have people clicking off real fast.
Heather O'Rourke. I think she's dead too. I don't think she was killed though. I think no, she had Crohn's disease, and an injection that she got had something to do with her death.
Oh, then that was one of those urban myths.
Yeah.
Yeah, for the longest time, there was that thing going around that her father had killed her
I knew the one girl was a blonde. That's
for whatever reason.
But
or I'm mixing up stories, which is highly likely.
I wonder, like, do you let all that fame go to your head and you spiral?
It's weird because you'll see some actors who fame goes to their head and they become snotty or holier than thou.
Right.
And then you've got actors like Matthew McConaughey, who's a pretty big actor, and Bradley Cooper, who I've seen it seem like they're the most down-to-earth. Woody Harrelson.
Keanu Reeves.
Like super down-to-earth and seem like you could run into them and they'd be cool as shit. And then there's people like... trying to think like specifically that I think would be dicks in real life if I ran into them. De Niro, Tom Hanks, Will Smith.
You think Tom Hanks would?
Some of the shit that he's said over the past years leads me to believe he's
Okay.
believes his own press at this point and
Okay.
thinks he's like better than everybody else. Again, my opinion. I don't never met him obviously. I don't know, but he just if I have to name a few that I think would be dicks in real life, that kind of comes, that obviously the Will Smith one, but
And Will Smith came from nothing. Came from West Philly, born and raised.
talk about forgetting where you came from.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a lot out there that you could point to and just go, yeah, I wouldn't want to meet them. They just seem like assholes.
No, I get that. And like I said,
But then there's a ton of people that, I would love to meet. Rob Zombie, James Hetfield, Zach Wilde, Matthew McConaughey. There's others, but
yeah, I just think that, like I said, I sometimes wonder, like we're talking about mental health and, you see some of these people and you're like, you can't turn yours on and off.
no, it's always there.
So it's shocking how they can live.
I don't know that they turn it off. Well, and none of the people that I just named, as far as I know, have any kind of mental illness. Hetfield's the only one that I know has dealt with like substance abuse problems, mainly alcohol. I don't know that he deals with anything else. He struggled at times. I don't know what it is. That's for him.
Right. But I'm saying like the people that have come out and actually have.
Yeah, I mean, if you know the band Korn, their former bass player, and I'm sorry, I don't know I only know their like nicknames, Fieldy. He had come out and said that he had had anxiety or, panic attacks and stuff like that had caused problems, obviously. But he's traveling around the world in front of tens of thousands of people, and I just go like, how the fuck? Like, is it on medication, like over medicating, or and does that lead to then substance abuse, or are you just able to? Are you that strong that you just fuck it? I'm going to push through it, because there are people like that. But
Lady Gaga
I'm
has
just not one of them.
Lady Gaga has come out and said that she has suffered severely over the years. She actually went to I don't want to say a home, like I don't know if it was an inpatient facility where she met with these girls that were also suffering with different. And you look at some of the, aside from her music, now people will be like, oh my gosh, she's talented. I will give her that. She's very talented.
Her music isn't my style. I liked her in A Star Is Born.
Yeah. She's also played in the horror show, one of the TV shows, American Horror Stories. She played in that. But for her to come out, and she's very vocal about it. Like, she said if she could bring awareness to mental health for anybody, then that's what she would do. That it's okay to struggle.
If you want to come on the show.
She actually bought property in Pennsylvania. But anyway.
Well, the three people that are watching this, besides us, I don't think it's going to really get out to the masses.
But she said it. The other person who suffered was Pink. She struggled.
Isn't she from Pennsylvania?
Yeah, she's also from Pennsylvania.
Might be a Pennsylvania thing.
She struggled at a young age, and she's very big about sharing your feelings and stuff like that. And one of the things is
well, that's kind of where we're talking about the stigma, because if women come out and say it, people go, yeah, makes sense. Guys come out and say it, they go, yeah, here we go,
Well, okay. Let's look at some of the past people. Robin Williams.
Did he come out and say that he had
His
a problem?
His wife did. His wife, yeah.
That's not the same as him coming out and saying, hey, I'm suffering with
No, yeah,
depression
I don't
and
know.
anxiety.
To be honest with you, I don't.
If you yourself don't come out and say it, then
Maybe he did to his close friends, but publicly, I don't know. But I'm trying to think of male stars that have come out for it. I can't think of any off the top of my head.
most of the ones that I remember, or from whenever they were musicians, they weren't really. I don't know of any actors that I can think of offhand. I'm sure there are. I just, one, my memory sucks, and two, I really don't follow what's going on. I would assume that dude from the show Empire, the one that faked his own assault.
Yeah.
I want to say Jesse Smollett.
Yeah.
If you set that up, that seems to me that you may, if that's not a cry for help, that's something's going on there. Somebody who's thinking rationally doesn't do that.
Yeah, that would be. I didn't even think of that.
Assuming that we're going with he actually faked it, which is what everybody said.
I'm trying to think who.
I don't know of any like super big name that I can remember. Like when you think of those huge stars, like I don't.
He's in the comics with the thing in his chest.
What?
Man of Steel. Who's Man of Steel?
Superman?
No, all right, not Man of Steel. I'm lying. Who's Iron Man?
Robert Downey Jr.
Yes.
Drug issues.
Drug issues, but he said stemmed from other things. So
I've never heard that. I've heard him on podcasts talk about the drug abuse and stuff like that, and coming back from that.
Yeah, they
bigger star than he was before.
Yeah, I forget what what we watched when they said that maybe the depression happened when he lost everything because of the drug abuse.
Well, I mean,
But again,
it's
if it's
also not
drug,
it's not unheard of that most drug addicts have childhood trauma or some form of mental illness prior to the actual
right?
drugs.
Yeah, I can't think of anyone else who's actually came out and
Yeah, I'm trying to think of all like the big stars, actors and actresses, and I'm like, I can't think of any that have come out and said that like they have crippling panic attacks or they have, depression and stuff like that. Again, I'm sure there are. I just can't off the top of my head think of any.
and if yeah, I mean, I would have to do research. And unfortunately, the problem with doing research is, are you getting factors that AI telling you? So that's a problem with the research.
And any of that information, I'll look it up to see if they say it. There's like a
Right.
direct quote from them, or there's an actual video of like an interview where they're talking about it.
So
If
that's
I don't see it directly from them, then I don't.
yeah, that's where the Ariana Grande, like I was watching an interview with her. It was before Wicked 2 came out. And
They made two of them.
yeah, she was talking and she's the one who said, she's like, and she was very like honest about it. Like, I'm just a regular person. Like, I suffer from, and she went on. I was like, oh, okay. It's,
Well, you brought up Jelly Roll earlier. He had substance abuse issues, correct?
yes.
Okay. Did he have or does he suffer from some form of mental
Yes.
illness?
It's
Or-
also in his family. His mom.
So I know he's got the song. I don't know what the name of the song is. What was the big song that kind of broke him?
I'll be all right. I forget. I can't think of the name of it. I know what you're talking about, though.
It was like a duet or something. So I assumed he was talking about mental health struggles, but I've seen him on some podcasts, and I'm not quite sure.
Yeah, he and his mom
I know he was in jail.
a couple times started in juvie. Yeah, his I believe it was schizophrenia that his mom had. I believe, I'm not sure, but she suffered severely, which put a lot of pressure on him. And his
That's one thing that's like, you may be suffering alone, but I don't want to word it this way, but
the
that
family suffers with you.
well, I was going to say you put people through a lot that you are in contact with daily or, in relationships with. Not, obviously, you're not putting them through a lot on purpose. It's not your fault. But they do go through it either because, they either go through it with you or they go through it because of you. With you is better. Because you means they probably are, getting worn a little thin with it.
I don't know if that's the case, or so. Your case is a little different. You're well aware of what's going on with you. Somebody who has schizophrenia may not be. They may,
Depending on what state they're in, they don't. Yeah,
Right.
They either think they're fine or they don't know that they just.
yeah,
I was almost said skits, but
yeah. It's so. And his daughter's mom, Jelly Roll's daughter's mother, baby mama.
oh, I was like, wait a minute.
I don't know if she's still alive or if she passed from an overdose. I know she was.
Were they doing shit together?
No, then they had already been separated. You want to watch a good show? Watch the documentary about him. It really opened your.
Didn't know there was one.
Yeah. And the other one, so Eminem is another one.
I was just gonna say, that's one where he had problems with his mom, his ex.
And he is more the stronger. I mean, he is
Did he have a relationship with his father? I mean, I watched 8 Mile. I don't know how accurate it was.
I don't know, but I do know. I always say this and everyone looks at me like I'm crazy. He had every reason to fold. Look at his childhood. Look at his upbringing. Look, he did everything he could to get out of that situation. He did everything he could to get his sister out of that situation. You know, and he's done it. Whether you're a fan of his music or not, he did everything he needed to do to make a better life for him and his sister. And he even took in his, I don't know if it's his wife's sister's kids or his sister's. I think it's his wife's sister's kids. He took them in. So, I mean.
Yeah, I don't know a whole lot about him.
Yeah, so that was one.
I'm going to assume 8 Mile is loosely based, and it's not all true.
But yeah, and there's a lot of them that you can go back and say, but yeah, the ones that.
I definitely wish I had that. Get out of this area at a younger age, and that drive, and wasn't content at the time to just, oh, this is where I live and this is what I do and this is just how it's going to be. And I just didn't have that drive, and I still don't to this day. It's just get to tomorrow and see what happens tomorrow.
What would your drive have been? Like, his was music. What would your drive have been?
Like I said in the past episodes, when I was a kid, I swore I was going to be famous.
Like under what? Like
I didn't know why or what, but I knew I was going to be an actor or a rock star, or.
I'm trying to picture you as an actor. Yeah, I'm just trying to picture like what type of role you would do.
Somebody who's panicking and freaking the fuck out.
I was thinking more of
we need panic. No problem. I'm already there.
I'm thinking more of like an Avatar. Now I'm trying to picture like what type of role you would.
The Hobbit. The Muppets, Gonzo.
You nailed it. All right, on that note.
No, but as a kid, I swore I was going to be, like, you could not have told me that I wasn't going to be a star. I have no idea why. There was no reason to think that. I don't know what it was, but I just, up until like high school, and then or early adulthood, and then you go, oh no, I'm going to deliver pizza. I'm not going to do any of that shit.
On a side note, he did get modeling pictures done.
What's this?
I said, on a side note, you did get modeling pictures done.
Yeah, I did. I did go to a modeling agency. I know, it's a shock.
No, the pictures are actually really good. I have one.
The pictures aren't bad, but they're from 90. Probably like 89, 90, somewhere around there.
It was before you started growing your hair out, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, it was the shirt with the sweater around the neck, and yeah. Had to do the whole certain poses and stuff like that, and got the headshots done, and then went to the modeling agency. And here's where the panic, I know it was there then, because all I wanted to do was like the catalog stuff, because I was told at that time I was 6'2", 180 at that time, close to 190. So, and I had some upper body, a lot more than I do now. So for like modeling clothes or shoots or stuff, would have been fine. Well, from the neck up was a problem. But so they were like, pictures are fine. That's great. Here, read this. So they gave me a piece of paper with like a Burger King commercial or something. Well, you told me to read it. You didn't say, like, be excited about it.
So this is what he did. Would you like a Whopper with that? My Whopper looks good.
No. That would have gotten me the job. I just went, this is a Whopper. A Whopper is good. Why don't you try a Whopper? Like, totally monotone. I just read the thing. I was like, well, I know how to read there. And she's like, you need to go to school. I went, For what? She's like, inflection and to learn how to. I'm like, I don't want to do commercials. I said, I just want to do like the catalog stuff for the clothing and all. I was told that she was like, yeah, we need you to be able to do whatever comes around. And I went, oh, yeah, I'm out. I literally just got up and like left because I started to get nervous. Like, yeah, I'm not.
Well,
You can put me in front of like a camera to take pictures, but if you're going to put a camera to start rolling and I got to like say shit, like, no.
yeah. So some backstory on this. If you watch our third episode, I think it is, or second or third episode, you'll hear him saying that when he was in high school, he had to do public speaking and just didn't happen. If we were sitting here and there were 5 people on the other side of us,
This conversation would not be going
this
on.
would not be happening. But the fact that he's talking to however many people want to watch this, they're not there. So he's just talking to me, and that's fine. Even me and another person is okay. When you start getting 3, 4 people, he starts getting, the angst starts to set in.
I'm actually sitting here right now starting to get a little warm and uncomfortable at the thought of it.
It's okay. There's nobody here, though.
No, I'm just saying
Yeah.
that's to the degree that it goes that I'm actually like starting to get a little warm and starting to feel like this ain't cool. And then I'm like, okay, that's just us and that's it. I'm fine.
All right, people, go back in the wall.
But I don't even know how I'd be with another if we were to do like a Zoom thing with a guest and somebody like I'm not sure how that would go.
I don't.
Like I'm almost at a point where if you're able to set that up, just don't tell me about it. Just sit down and start the thing and then boop. And then I don't have anywhere to go. So I'm kind of.
So I can Mr. To you without the drugs.
Without the drugs. Yeah. Just sit down and then it pops up and I go, oh, hey.
Yeah, it's
Because once we start talking, I'll be fine.
fine. Yeah.
But if I know ahead of time, like a week ahead of time,
Oh, yeah, I wouldn't do that to you.
like it probably won't happen.
Yeah, I won't do that to you. I don't even tell him all the time what we're going to talk about until we sit down or we start.
Yeah, I just sit down and wait to hear the topic and go, oh, okay.
And it's not a control thing. It's just it's easier. It's easier on him.
Well, it also makes it possible because otherwise, if you say, all right, next week we're going to talk about this, I'm going to be thinking about that all the way until next week.
Right. And this way you're seeing it raw. He can't plan anything. It's just a thought that comes in his mind and out his mouth.
And that's why you'll get those pauses where I'm like trying to remember shit and, try not to say too much offensive crap,
But just keep in mind, guys, that everybody, no matter their job, whether they're movie stars, rock stars, athletes,
famous artists,
anyone can suffer. Just because you have money or you have fame does not mean that you're exempt from suffering.
most artists have some kind of mental illness.
Yeah, I mean, Roger McClellan chopped off his ear. But just keep this in mind. And if you know anybody, movie star wise or anything like that, comment and let us know. I mean, I'm going to look some stuff up, and I'm sure he will too, to see if we can find anybody.
I'll probably forget before I get to the stuff. I'm getting a hot fudge sundae.
All right. Have a good night. And
I did want to say, if anybody is watching and you want to come on and tell your story and do a Zoom thing, we'd be up for that.
Yeah, just contact me, not him.
I'm going to get the notification,
But yeah, that would be great. And remember, it's a safe space. You can say anything you want. This is the whole reason we're doing this forum. So, till the next episode, guys, have a good night.